Hey everybody, welcome to our Tuesday leadership Zoom. Cannot believe that we are already in February. Like, I feel like this year is going fast already. And we are starting to get in the thick of things, and we still have so much bonus time left. So I hope that you guys are running like heck to grab one of those before the end of April. But just know that get consistent, your time will come. I am so excited, not just because today's payday, but of course because it's our Tuesday Zoom, where we get to hear from a 200K leader. And I get exceptionally excited when the 200K leader is from my team. And not only that, but a brand new 200K leader. Um, Pretty exciting times right now. Lacey and her team just hit the rank of 200K. Um, Gosh, was it last month, Lacey, or the month before? Last month, right?
Yeah, January 30th.
Bonus. You got a $200,000 bonus. Um, like I can't even imagine. I am so excited because not only are we getting to interview you and celebrate this, but also get some tips from you right now, because there's a lot of people probably on here that are running for any bonus, and your team is on fire right now. Like, when I say that there were multiple bonuses on your team, in order for you to go 200K, there had to be a lot of other people working and promoting. So I cannot wait to hear those tips today. But I want everybody to get familiar with who you are, because we have so many 200Ks in this company that we don't know who everybody is. So that's why I love this call so much, because then you can kind of share your story. And I have I know every single person on here is going to be just like so inspired by your story. I know it. And I am just in awe of you and how far you come as just an individual and a person. And I think it's going to be cool for people to hear that there's so much to it. Like, I mean, I'm thinking about all of it. The fires, drug abuse, like it's crazy. So I cannot wait for you to share. And I kind of want to start from the beginning. Like, what were you doing before you ever got into any network marketing? What was life like? And then how did you find network marketing? And then did you do anything before Lavelle? And then how did you find Lavelle? And then we'll go from there.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to tell you thank you for inviting me on this Zoom. I've literally been watching this Zoom since I started. So for 2 years, I've watched every Tuesday, and it's been a dream of mine to hit 200K and be on this Zoom. So I'm excited. I'm super nervous, but I already know the questions you're going to ask because I've been watching it for 2 years. So I'm kind of prepared. So prior to finding network marketing, I'm just going to be completely real and raw with you guys. I was kind of barely hanging on. Like Lisa said, my story includes addiction, and like what I've always done is I'll get some clean and sober time under my belt. I'll kind of start getting my life together, and I'll last about 18 months, 2 years, and then I relapse. And that was my story for many, 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 many years. My entire 20s, that was my story. I was what we call a chronic relapser. And the last time that I relapsed, it got really bad. Like, I mean, I was into homelessness. I had lost my children. I had a baby and lost her from the hospital to CPS. Like, it was pretty much as dark as you can imagine is where I was. And I didn't really have a hope in the world. This is a total God thing. I was living in Oroville, homeless with my boyfriend. And there's a huge lake in Oroville. And this is so crazy. I still to this day can't even believe that this happened. But there's a giant lake in Oroville. There's a dam, obviously, that holds it in. And the entire town was evacuated. Like, the news was going crazy. The cops were driving through the towns on their loudspeakers, telling everybody to get out. And so they literally evacuated the entire town of Oroville. Who's now my husband now, and I didn't have anywhere to go, but he did have a mother who, you know, our parents had like cut us off. We weren't allowed to go to any family's house. We were bad in our addiction. So he was like, my mom will take us in for this. So we went up to his mom's house, and thank you God, their best friends ended up being the owners of a rehab facility in Oroville. And so we sat there for like 6 days, kind of like coming down and whatever. And then one day, and I don't even still really know why. I think it's because he was afraid I was going to leave him, to be honest. But Desmond was like, okay, what if we just go in there and ask these people for help? And I was like, go ahead, you're the one that needs help, I'll be doing my thing. You know what I mean? But I didn't. We went in and we asked for help, and the man ended up taking Desmond into the men's house, and the woman took me into the women's house, and we got clean and sober, and we stayed clean and sober. We stayed there for 6 months, and at that 6 month point, we moved into a transitional housing. They're like, if you go into rehabs, they have like a kind of a next step kind of thing where they don't just throw you back out in the community and expect you to know how to live like a normal person. They kind of baby step you. So that's where we were. We were in a transitional housing in Chico. And I actually started my business from that transitional housing. Not a lot of people know that, but when I started promoting Thrive, I was living in a rehab, like a transitional housing in Chico. And the way that I found it was literally somebody just telling me about it. So my best friend had been doing network marketing with a few different companies for years while I was out there. And she tells me to this day, she's Michelle Roberts, you guys probably know who she is. She tells me that to this day that she would think about me. She's like, I always thought about you, like you're resourceful, you would be good at this. But I wasn't ready. So she called me one day and she just said, I want you to, do you know what residual income is? And I said, no. And she said, okay, well, go look it up. So I went and I looked it up, and I instantly understood the potential income that could come from it. I did some research and I just learned a little bit about it, and it made sense to me. So I called her back and I said, okay, I looked it up. And she said, okay, now I want you to watch this video. And she sent me a video of a girl. It was not this company. It was a girl hitting the top of a company in another network marketing company. And she was crying. She was like talking about how her life was changed, how she came from nothing, how she like can't believe this is happening, the money that she was making. And I was like, okay, now I understand what residual income can do. And now I like am looking at a person that it's actually happened to, and I wanted to feel like that. I was very broke. I had no work history. Like I said, I was probably at that point almost 2 years clean and sober. And I was at that point where my history was that I would relapse. And I didn't want to do that, but that's just where I was in my recovery at that point. I was going to school full time, not for anything I was passionate about, just because it was like, it seemed like the thing to do. You know, I wanted to contribute to my family. I wanted to be somebody, you know what I mean? So to me, my chance of kind of being somebody is like, be clean and sober, go to school, get a degree, get a good job, pull in some income. That's what we do, you know? So, but I was bored. I had no passion. I was going to be a medical coder, you know, and I had no passion for that. I was just doing it because it was going to put an income into our house. So at that point, she was actually with another network marketing company, and I was like, okay, I'm in, let's go. So she helped me buy my first box. We were selling shampoo. We did that for, I think it was 9 months, maybe not even that long. We did it for probably about 6 months. And it was really, really difficult. You guys, if you've been with another network marketing company, you probably know, like, there is nothing like the leadership and the training over here at Lavelle. We just have it made over here. There was no leadership over there. Like, we were told not to ask questions in the team pages. We were not given verbiage like we are over here, you know, so it was hard to figure out. This is hard to figure out how to do it if you don't have somebody teaching you how to do it. So, I was there for about 6 months, and she started talking about Thrive. And I was like, you're crazy. You totally put this like 5 to 7 year plan in my head, told me to have the vision, all this stuff. And now you want to move. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying the course. You know, I was like, I already have the time into this, and no, I'm not making any money, but I believed in the time that you need to put into a company. So I wasn't going to go anywhere. And we were making literally, like, if we made $30 in a week, that was a huge deal. It was $15 paychecks almost every single week, but I understood that could grow. So she started talking about these girls and how they're always happy and how they're always shouting each other out, so you could tell they were winning. She started talking about how they were like talking about how good they felt, and I was like, I'm not going. Okay, so she goes. All of a sudden, she's like, okay, my gut told me I'm out. I go. So she's like out, you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going anywhere. So she literally, it took her almost 6 months to get me to come over here with her. And in the meantime, during that 6-month period, I was telling her no, I was telling her I'm not going anywhere. I was literally sending, she's my best friend in the whole world. I was sending her to voicemail. I was complaining to my husband, like she won't stop talking about Thrive. That's all she wants to talk about. But I was also noticing that she was different. Like she wasn't telling me how tired she was anymore. There was just something different about her. Like she was just brighter, you know? And I had always known her as, sorry, Michelle. I had always known her as like, I'm tired. I want to just lay around on the couch. I don't feel like getting up and cooking. Like she's a single mama, so she was tired, you know, and something about her was changing, and it was something that I could not notice. It was huge. So right around that same time, you guys know about the Northern California fires. I grew up in Paradise, California, and at the time that the fires happened, I lived about 20 minutes away, but my family, friends, my community, you know, was still up there. And so the fires happened. Michelle ended up sending me a box of Thrive. She's like, okay, you don't want to talk about it. You're not going to come over here, but you're going to try the products. So she sent me a box of Thrive. I used it a little bit incorrectly. The fires were happening, so I literally didn't even want to feel good. I just wanted to sit on my bed and cry and watch the news for a month, you know, and that's basically what I did. Well, the day I snapped out of it, I tried the products, and I'm not going to go into all that because you guys already know how it feels to Thrive. You know, I knew that I wasn't really offering anybody anything with the shampoo. And also I had just watched my community burn down. Like I had just watched every single person that I grew up with, loved, and knew lose everything, including the area even where they could live. And I didn't have it in me to try to put importance on a bottle of shampoo. You know, I couldn't post how awesome shampoo was. It just didn't feel good, you know. When I started Thriving, I knew that I had something that no matter what anybody had been through, it would help them. I had something that I could offer the people that had lost everything, offer people that had never lost anything. Like it was going to impact and improve anyone's life, no matter where you are in your walk of life, you know? So, so from that point, I just, you know, I told her, yeah, I hit the promoter button, and we've just been kind of running ever since.
So let's talk about like well, first of all, like your story is what it is so cool to me and inspires me the most is there's a lot of people in this world that kind of just feel that they have a past, they have a background. We all do. And sometimes that past and background doesn't put us in a position to believe that we could be something so amazing and accomplish amazing and great things in this world. And I just think about all the people that I've known in my past, and that there's so many people on here they know in their past that maybe in a place where they feel like, what's out there for me? You know what I mean? Like, what could I go
Mm-hmm.
do and make my family a crap ton of money and change other people's lives when I have a felony, or when I have, you know, a pass with drugs, or there's so many people in this world like that. We do things when we're younger that it aren't us, you know what I mean? Aren't the people that we'll want to become when we're older, but unfortunately it leaves an impact and a stain on us that does impact us when we're older in most situations. But network marketing is freaking incredible because it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, your past is. If you have a dream, a passion, and you're willing to work hard, and you understand, like you said, going into that first company, you understood, you got it. Like maybe I won't make any money in the beginning, but it will come if I stay consistent. And you know, obviously when you're with a better company like Develop, it can come quicker. But at the end of the day, this is just so huge. And that's why your story is just so powerful, because it's just making me think of all those people in my life that I could be talking to, that I could say, look, I know you want more, and you have been dealt a crap hand, let's go get you more. That's
Yeah.
so exciting. Once you got into Lavelle, let's talk about, because you said you've been in 2 years now. Let's talk about how long it took you to go to each rank.
Okay, so I jumped in on February of 2019, and I actually, like 2 weeks after I ended up hitting the promoter button, I lost my whole Facebook. So like my entire everything, I had been building that Facebook, I'd been building my business for that other company, and I literally went to log in one day, like 2 weeks, like right after my VIP period ended, and I couldn't get into my Facebook. So I tried for, I think I probably tried for 3 days before I realized that it wasn't going to scratch totally all the way over. And at that point, I was just as like a sign. I should just, I'm going back to school, like, or I was already in school, but I'm just going to keep doing school. And Michelle was like, no, you get to cry for like 5 seconds and then we're going to make you a new Facebook page. So we totally started over. And along the lines of what you're saying about how, there are people like that out, like me.
Is it just me, guys, or are we losing Lacey?
No, she keeps cutting out.
Okay, hold on. When she gets
I'm
back.
back. I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out.
Okay, there you go. We can hear you now.
So I'll just say, I know what it's like to, not only did I not have relationships that I could, some people come in and they're like, oh, I can go VIP 1600 right now. Like they have a VIP party, their neighbors or whatever. They know they're 8 people. I didn't know anybody. Nobody trusted me. I had burnt all my friendships being in my addiction. And so I just want to say, like, that's not an excuse that can get in the way and means that you can't be successful. I hear that so many times from people, I don't know anybody. Nobody's going to buy it. And I just want everybody on here to know, like, all I did was follow the training. I literally jumped on these Zooms. I listened to what I was being taught about growing my network and how to appeal to people. And I took notes. And then when the Zoom ended, I brought those notes to life. I did those things that I was taught, and so on top of not even having like a close network or a warm market, really, I lost my Facebook page. And like I said, cried for about 5 seconds, started a new one. And so from started in February, I hit 4K in March, at the end of March. I hit 12K in April. And then I sat at 12K for a really long time. We sat at 12K for 11 months. And that it was, we always ended a little bit higher though. I think there was only a couple months where we dropped down like below what we had done the month before. And so volume was growing, but that stretch from 12 to 40 was a freaking hike for me. It was a really, really, I felt like it was long. I guess it's not that long in the scheme of like network marketing, but so after we hit 12K, I hit 40K a year after being in. No, hold on. I'm going to forget. Yeah, I hit 40K. So the following like April, I think, and then I went 80K in May. And then it took me until January to go 200K. So there were some ranks where I was like, boom, boom, we went right to the next rank, and then we would sit, for a while. So from 80 to 200K, we sat. From 12 to 40, we sat.
So in the last 2 years, do you feel like you have, and sometimes, honestly, people have that rise where they haven't seen a lot of stuff yet, but there's always stuff. There's always stuff. There's so many things. You hear the complaints, I hear the complaints, and people always have, I'm stuck, or this is happening, or that's happening, or I just lost, a really big leg and now it's over. like, or there's conflict, like there's always stuff, right?
Mhm.
What kind of stuff have you had to deal with over 2 years? Like, has there ever been a point where you're like, this is it, I'm quitting? Knowing
Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't never wanted to quit. I've wanted to kick other people out, to be honest. Like the stuff that we've had on our team, and it hasn't been very much. It's just been, you get like this many people together, there's going to be a little bit of drama here and there. And so in the beginning, I was always really, really trying to like dig in, mend things, fix things, keep everybody happy, like make sure that nobody was feeling any kind of way or whatever. And what I've learned like along the way, and I'm going to try to put this the best way that I can, but what I've learned is that you can't do that for everybody. Like there's going to be a certain group of people that are here that are positive, that are like-minded, that are going for the same thing, that are loving, that are, about all that stuff. But then once in a while, there's going to come like, I don't want to say a bad apple, but whatever, that's kind of what it is. And what I've learned is that I can't make a bad apple into a good apple. They can if they want to. And so what I do on my team is I just no like amount of volume to me is worth having my team like poisoned or any kind of negativity be around my team. So I personally just don't deal with it at all. We don't do negativity. We don't do drama. We don't do shit talking. Like we just don't do it. I don't allow it. And if that means that you don't get to be in the chats, be in the team page, whatever it means, I just have that boundary. And I feel like it's important to keep my team protected. So we've had that. The only other thing that I can really think of is just, and I think everybody probably has this, is just people that kind of have a problem for every solution. We all feel like we don't know how to do this when we start. We all feel like we get stuck sometimes, but my feeling about this, I don't know if it's this team in particular or if it's the company as a whole, but we literally have everything we need. We have the upline support, we have the product, we have the comp plan it's a comp plan from heaven. We have the sideline support, we have the team pages, we have the Lavelle fan page. Like we have so much that I really feel like if someone's stuck in an area, I'm going to guide them to how to fix that. But it's us. Like if I'm stuck, that's me. That's me not doing what it takes to get unstuck, or that's me paying attention to the wrong person or listening to the wrong person or doing the wrong IPAs or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think that this team, and like you said, we're only 2 years in, so maybe, I don't know, I'll knock on wood, more is probably coming. But right now, the only kind of thing that we've had is kind of a little bit of drama with some people that maybe aren't ready to be in like a group like this, or people that are just kind of not doing the things that it takes. And you actually taught me something. The first time I met you, I was banging my head against a wall with like a few people. I was like, I know their potential. I know their potential. I know their potential. And you were like, it doesn't matter. If they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it, And so you taught me the first time I met you in Tahoe to kind of let those people figure it out for themselves. And it's sad because some of them literally still haven't, It's hard when you see someone's potential and they won't do what it takes to run or whatever, but I don't know.
No, I get
We've
it.
been lucky.
It's frustrating. You're like, oh my God, I know how far you could go with this or what you could do if you could get out of your own way. Because usually it's people's attitude. Really, it's 99% mindset. So when you can't,
it's totally mindset. And a lot of times I'll be like, it's like, well, I've done everything. And to me, it's a little bit like offensive when somebody's like, I've done everything, because I know how hard I work and I haven't done everything. I don't do everything. Like somebody who's like, well, this isn't working. I can't, they won't. I know how hard we work. I would never, ever, ever tell somebody this is easy. I would never tell somebody, oh, you're just going to like post a few days or a few times a day and boom, the money's going to flow in. Like this is actually probably the hardest work that I've ever done in my entire life, but it's also the most lucrative, the most gratifying, the most like my soul is happy, and I would bust ass for this, and I will, you know. It's just so worth it. But it's the people that I think are just like, oh, well, I made a post and nobody bought, or I sent out a message and nobody bought, or I added 5 friends but nobody accepted, and then they're like, my hands are up, I'm done. That kind of stuff is frustrating to me, because I know how hard we work to be successful, you know.
So I kind of do want to know. I mean, I, dude, I think more than anything, I get the same thing you do. Well, we all get it. But I think more than anything, what I hear is the whole, I've been in 3 weeks. Nobody wants this. Everyone I'm going to, I don't have a network. I mean, you are the perfect example of somebody that, look, you had burned a lot of bridges because of things that had happened, and you probably felt like, oh my God, who am I going to get to do this? But you dug in and you made no excuses. Like, that was the same thing for me. Is when I started, nobody I knew wanted it. So it was like, okay, am I going to sit here and just quit because nobody I know wants it? Or I'm going to go find it, or I'm going to go find strangers that do want it. Like, am I going to go find people that do want it? And go live my goals and dreams and take this shot and this opportunity and try to make something of this. And I decided to go the hard route and do it instead of the easy route, which would have been quitting. And same for you. I mean, you lost your freaking Facebook, that a lot of people would have been like, I'm out. Like, I can't start over. Like, you were willing to do whatever it took. So talk a little bit about that. How did you grow your network, and how are you growing it?
So I basically, like I said, I follow our training. Like I said, it's all there. You know what I mean? So when there's a Super Saturday training, I get on and I listen to what we're taught. We're taught how to grow our network. When there's a boot camp, I get on. When there's a push, I get on. Like I grab on to whatever is offered to us. And as many as I've been in, I still will learn something. You know what I mean? So when I first started, I was, you'd hear you have to grow relationships, you have to build relationships, you have to build relationships. And I was like, in that other company that I was with, I had never heard anything like that. I just was like trying to like sell shampoo that nobody even really wanted to put, it was whatever. And so when I came over here, I was like, no, there's got to be like a faster way. So I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to like make a bunch of money and sell Thrive. And I was going to forget that part. Well, it didn't take me very long to realize that you can't skip that part. Not only that, but now that I understand what that really means, why would you want to skip that part? Like, I don't want to skip that part. It's in those relationships that we build that we really truly understand how we help somebody when we get this product or opportunity into their hands. If I was just throwing something at somebody and never talk to them again, I would have no idea that they got to wake up the next day and play with their grandbabies. I would have no idea that they didn't cry themselves to sleep because they don't want to get up in the morning, or whatever. Like, those stories are what this is all about. This is all about making people feel good. And there's no way around those relationships. And so what I do personally, I used to just go and like, I'd find a friend who had a lot of likes. And so I'd like mass add all their friends. And that, it didn't really work because I don't know who those people are. You know what I mean? So what I do now is I get into some groups. I make sure that like, if you come to my page, you kind of know who I am. Like, if you come to my page, you're probably going to see my Frenchie. You're probably going to know that I have daughters. You're probably going to know that I am in recovery. You're probably going to know that I'm obsessed with true crime shows. Like, there's just things about me that you'll know right away because I keep those things on my page. And so from that, those are also the groups that I go and I get into. So I go get into these groups with people that are like-minded that I already have something in common with, and I build relationships in groups. And then it's not weird when I send a friend request, and I already like basically know this person when I get them on my page, and I just let them see Thrive themselves. I don't get into someone's inbox and say, hey, you want to try Thrive? I don't get into someone's inbox and say, have you ever tried Thrive? I put Thrive on my page. I kind of trickle it on my page with my real life. And I want people to, Paul said something at the leadership meeting in Cabo. He said, what's our number one selling product? And we all said women's capsules. And he was like, yeah, but no. He's like, your number one selling product is you. Like, people are going to buy us long before they're interested in the product. And so that's what I do. I just be very real. Like, I want people to know me. And so I'm just super like real and raw. And like I said, I build relationships in groups and then pull them over to my page. And you taught me that.
Oh, I just wish that more people would get that. Wait, but it's also adding people. Like, you can't just get in a group and then like sit there and watch, or go join 50 of them and then not comment or post or not add anyone. Like, right now, I keep telling people the only thing you should be focused on is adding new people. Like, adding new people, building relationships, adding new people, building relationships. There's really nothing else. I mean,
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you can really know everything that's in all the products. You can be on every Zoom there ever was in training, but none of that is going to unfortunately make you any money. What's going to make you money is, I mean, obviously it can make you money if you get on Zooms and then get off here and go get in some groups and do what we just taught. But a lot of people get so caught up in the busy work that they do stay stuck. So when you look at your downline, I always think about, like, I know there's times in my business where I fall into management mode, not purposely, but just because, like, all of a sudden I realize I just went a month and I didn't sign anyone, and I've been doing all the Zooms and I've been doing all the lives and I've been making sure that I'm in all the three-way messages, and I'm like, well, crap, I haven't like really worked my business. And then I'm like, crap, I need to, like, it's hard to find balance sometimes, especially as you're growing a 200K team. And now that you are a 200K team, like, you have different responsibilities. You know what I mean? Like, now you have to worry about these people, but you also have to worry about yourself. But you also get to, like, be over an organization and watch it grow. And like, what are some of the things that you think people do that kind of stunts their growth, or I don't know, like, mistakes people make?
Well, I mean, this is easy because it's things I do, to be honest. I'm constantly catching myself in management mode, and I don't know. I think some of that is because I have a little bit of control issues, like I'm bossy, but I'm not bossing my team around, but it's also like, I like that part of it. I love like being in the trenches with my team. I love running like contests and stuff with my team. I love being active in their team chats. Like, I really, really, really love that part. And so for me personally, it's hard to, I have to constantly remind myself, like, do your personal business, personal business, personal business. I fall into it all the time, to be honest. That's the truth. And so one thing that I'm learning is, to get up in the morning and do me first. Like, I already get up in the morning and I do my personal development and I do my gratitudes, my positive affirmations. I do all that stuff already. So what I'm wanting to and trying to start incorporating now is my personal business, so that's getting my relationships, my messages, my interactions done, adding to my network, like all the stuff that's going to be good for my personal business, following up on minis, sending out minis, all that stuff first thing, so that later on in the day when I'm finding myself like more involved in my team stuff, that's okay. And at least I've done that other stuff. Because what I'll do is I'll get up and I'll like check my phone and it'll be like all the team chats, or it'll be, my team needing help, and I'll just dive right into that. And then it's like I go to bed and I have done nothing for my personal business. And that's something that I'm just learning now, because I'm just going to keep it real. I do that a lot. So I'm living on timers on my phone. I have a timer that goes off for everything. So I get up in the morning and I'm doing my morning stuff. And then I have a timer set for that between this time and this time, I'm doing my personal stuff. And whatever message comes through, unless it's someone in their VIP period, of course, whatever message comes through is going to wait until that gets done, because I have to do that. Otherwise, like I said, I'll just get completely. So, I think that that's a good idea. I don't remember where I learned that, but I think it's you. Everything is you. I would learn everything from you. It's just the 80-20 rule. You know what I mean? So you want to be spending 80% of your time. Well, maybe you should explain it, or explain your 80-20 rule, because you're going to say it better.
I'm not going to say it better, but it's true though. 80% of your time, what most people are going to end up doing in this business, and it's going to bite them in the ass, is they're going to be spending 80% of the time with the 80% of people not doing anything.
There you
And
go.
we do, right? We're in the messages trying to talk somebody off the ledge, or we're in the message with the person that does not get, it always kills me when I get somebody in my message back going, I'm doing everything. And I'm like, I have not seen you on a Tuesday leadership Zoom. I've never seen you on the Thursday night Zoom. Like, how are you doing everything? But anyways, I haven't seen you like make a post, volunteer. So I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. But at the end of the day, the goal is there's a book called 80/20, and it basically teaches you should be spending 80% of your time with the 20% of workers, because that's where the 80% of your money is going to come from. That's where the 80% of your growing business is going to come from. And that's like anything in life. You 80/20 everything. I'm talking 80/20 the time with your children, the time with your family, the like quality time versus just time spent, doing absolutely bull crap. So it's everything, but it's so good. You guys should get that book. But I want to know, like, okay, you guys are obviously on fire right now. Your team is
Yes.
producing multiple promotions last month. And I mean, it's so exciting. Well, first of all, two-part question. What do you train and what do you do when you bring in a new person? Because I think that that's crucial. You guys have a lot of people VIP, which is a really good thing. And then, like, what tips do you have right now for people? Like, what the heck is your team doing? Why do you guys think you're on this? Like, what do you guys think you are doing right now that is causing this effect of craziness? Because for a lot of people, I tell them every year, you probably won't see a lot of growth in January. That has not been the case for you guys. You and probably two other teams under me are seeing the growth in January. Most people don't start seeing that growth till March, April. It's that buildup of doing the right actions, and all of a sudden March and April, they're like, what the heck is happening? I just promoted twice or whatever. What did you do before to make it like this now? Or just give us some tips. Like, I want all the tips.
Yeah, I'm so proud of this team. Like, this is by no means like I went 200K, you know what I mean? We went 200K, and it was from a ton of time, blood, sweat, tears, laughs, crying, like all the things, you know what I mean, got us here and will continue to grow us. But one thing I'll say is, we listened when our upline leaders, you and up, told us that November, October, December are going to be slower months, and that means we plant seeds. We listened. We took that to heart. So I ran an October push group for my team. We did every single day. It was a daily October push all the way through the month to make sure that we were still planting seeds, make sure we were still growing our pages, make sure we were still, not letting the fact that volume was dropping a little bit and paychecks were getting smaller deter us from the fact that January, February, March, April, May are going to blow up and be out of control, So
I got to interrupt you for 1 second. I actually remember your volume and your team kind of dipping pretty low.
Oh yeah.
Before the new year. Like, I think it was November-ish, December-ish. Like, what I'm trying to make everybody see is that you didn't go, oh crap, and freak out. You just kept doing the right actions, because even though your team was not growing at that time and people were not signing anyone, they were all still working as though they were. And
right.
It's crazy because there's so many people that just stop working those 3 months once they start, and they freak out. They're like, are you kidding me? What the heck is going on? Why is my volume half of what it was 3 months ago? You know what I mean? They all lose their minds. And you guys did not do that. I did not hear one complaint. And I remember looking at your numbers once going, oh my gosh, your numbers really dropped. But that didn't freak me out, because I knew you guys were doing the right things. I know, because I've been doing this for 10 years. So I never get freaked out of that stuff. I freak out when I see other people's numbers drop when they're not doing anything. I didn't with you though. But what were you during that time? Were you like, oh my God, were you freaking out?
I mean, I've been here through that season. So I knew, I've been here through November, December. So I knew what that time was for. Like, when we're in those, I don't even want to say slower. It's not a slow season. It's a seed planting season. It just is what it is. Just like March and April are explosive, good paycheck seasons. November and December just aren't. That's probably maybe how it's always going to be. I don't know, but we were ready for it. I think that the biggest mistake and the thing that I've seen just hurt people during those kind of slower times is, we'll hear, just wait, like January, February, March, April, May, those are going to be insane. It's going to be amazing. Everybody's ready. Taxes come in, New Year's resolutions. People want to get ready for their beach bodies. And we'll hear that and we'll be like, okay, I'm ready for it. And then I see people just sit back and like take November and December off because they're ready for that big blow up of the busy season. And I've seen it with a couple like people on my team, and it's like, oh, it breaks my heart because it doesn't happen for them that way. You know what I mean? In order to have that blow up, explosive, busy time, you have to have those seeds planted, unless you're just coming in right then and you're in your warm market, then that's good too. But like I said, we just didn't stop. We pushed harder because we knew it was slow season, and we stayed present. One thing that I will say, like, I've kind of been trying to like find the secret, like, what is the secret? What is the secret? And I don't really think there is one. I think it's a culmination of, doing all the things that are presented to us. But if I had to pick one secret, and I would say that I've learned this from Jill Lucero on my team, is excitement. You know what I mean? Like, we stay loud and proud about these products every single day. We shout everybody out who achieves something. We let people know that we're still thriving. We're still excited. We still love this team, love this product, love this company. And during the time where nobody has any money, everybody's spending it on Christmas, nobody is ready to buy or whatever, we still did that. That doesn't stop us. That doesn't stop us from loving our comp plan, loving our team, loving our products, loving how we feel thriving. And so thank you, Jill. I know you're on here. Thank you for that. That girl, you guys, if you don't follow her, don't send her a friend request, but follow her, because she's amazing. She's definitely somebody to learn from. She is always excited, always on fire. Her team, she just grabbed a $40,000 bonus last month. And then with a few days left in the month was like, I ain't done, and turned around and grabbed it again under her husband's account. It's just absolutely amazing. So I learn a lot from my team. I think that remaining coachable and, okay, hold on. I didn't answer your question. Okay. So when someone new comes on, one thing that is 100% must every single time, no matter what. And I think a lot of people miss this step, and it's, in my opinion, almost detrimental to whether you do this or not, is going to sometimes make or break the person's experience, is a three-way message with your upline. If you're pulling on a promoter and you're not putting them in a three-way message with your upline, that to me is horrible. It does so much for that person. Not only does it help you because now you have someone else helping you get this person going, but it tells them right away that there's support. It gives them another person's perspective. It makes them feel welcome in a team. And I don't know, I don't really know exactly why those work so well, but they work well no matter if it's a customer on a sample, a new promoter, someone who's asking questions about the business. But that's one thing that I train, but that's also one thing that as many times as I say it, it doesn't happen. It doesn't always happen. I don't know why people are so nervous to put someone in a three-way message. For me personally, I don't even ask. I'll ask my upline, but the potential or the new promoter, I don't ask them. I just put them in a three-way and I say, hey, this is my friend Lisa. She's been here longer than me. I wanted you to hear her story, yada, yada, yada. And usually what happens is the person appreciates learning, or appreciates the fact that you took the time to find somebody to help them, and they feel, they feel a good feeling from it. I've never, ever had someone be like, oh my God, I can't believe you put me in a three-way with a stranger or whatever. So I think my number one tip when you're pulling on a new promoter, absolutely 100% right away, put them in a three-way message with your upline. Because as uplines too, we're like, why are they doing this? Because we know how huge that is for a business. The other thing is, we get into VIP. So I have people make a list. I tell them, think about the people that that need energy, that are going crazy at home with their kids right now, that are not sleeping, that their New Year's resolution was weight loss. Put these people on a piece of paper. Think about the people that their job was affected by COVID, or that would like to make an extra stream of income. And and let's get that list, like actually physically write out a list. And so they get that list, and we just start banging them out. We, like I said, get into 3-ways. So we get into 3-ways with those people. They'll open it up like, this is my friend Lacey. I know I've talked to you a little bit about this Thrive stuff and what it's done for me. I wanted you to hear what it's done for her. And again, it's those stories. Like, we're constantly using other people's stories, whether it's the Lavelle fan page or our upline or another sideline or whatever. So we do that. And then I just try to stay really, really, really close to people in their VIP period. Again, there's going to be people who are going to really run and try to make that happen. And there's going to be people that it seems like we want it to happen for them more than they want it to happen. But VIP reports, I think, are huge. And that's another thing I'm learning too. As I'm learning to like work on my personal business first, I'm also learning to dig into my VIP reports. So what I'm doing is literally like I'm opening up my VIP reports, finding these people on social media, because people won't always put you in 3-way message with them. So I'm making sure that everybody knows who I am, knows that I'm there. And it's literally just a quick like message like, hey, my name is Lacey Wells. I never say I'm your upline. I never say you're my downline. I always say I'm on your Thrive team. Like, I'm on your team. I'm beside you. I'm not anywhere, and I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself so that you knew that I was here to support, guide, and help you with whatever you need. And it's just that easy. And sometimes the thing about it is, if I introduce somebody that I bring on to my upline, there's a high chance that that person's going to connect with either me or my upline. You know what I mean? I never want to assume that I'm like everybody's favorite person. So also, by putting someone in a 3-way message, you're giving them an opportunity to connect with someone else. And the same thing with reaching out to your VIP reports. Maybe that person's direct enroller isn't really working the business, or maybe that person doesn't really vibe with, or they're not getting the information. And so I don't want anybody like hanging out there not really knowing what to do. And so that's where my control issues really come in handy, is I can reach out and like make sure that they are plugged in, know their VIP report and all that stuff. And then on top of that, I just make sure they're connected to team pages. Connection is huge. I make sure that they're dropped every Zoom. They get the vault right away. They are just try to keep them plugged in.
As you're talking, I'm realizing just how much literally I could be the one doing this entire Zoom talking, because that's how much you're not reinventing the wheel. That's how much you plug in. You're listening to what the people that did it before you did it, and then you're just doing it that way.
Oh,
and yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people make it so complicated, and we complicate it by just not doing it, right? I mean, we'll get on the Zoom and we're like, yeah, oh my God, such good tips. And then we get off the Zoom and that was it. It's like, it doesn't have to be any more difficult than what this is. And, you said you were looking for like the secret. There's so many people looking for the secret. What's the secret? What's Lacey not telling me? That something had to special have happened, or she must know something else, because I just can't even promote right now. And it's not that. It's the fact that it is this consistent repetition day in and day out, and then also knowing that it's going to take time. You know what I mean? And it's going to be up and down. I mean, the fact that you did not freak out at all. You know how many people were in my inbox in November talking about their volume, and you did not do that. I was pretty
my volume, when you say our volume dipped, I mean, our volume dips. I think we hit like, I don't know if it was August or September, but there was one month that we got really close to 200K. We were at like 192. And part of me was like, oh, let's go for it. And the other part of me was like, oh, let's wait for rank advancements, because I knew that eventually they'd come back. And then from that 192, we dropped to, I think in December, I think I closed out at like 98. Like we were literally half of, we lost $100,000 in volume that month. But like you said, I have been listening to you guys for so long, and I have been here through one of those seasons that I knew, I wanted to end the end of December knowing that there was nothing more really we could have done, that we busted ass through those months. And then whatever happened in January was just kind of up to however hard we had worked, and it paid off.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't notice everybody's volume, but when it's that much, I notice.
It was a
And
lot.
so I
It
was
was
like,
a lot.
I was like, I wonder what's going on over there. I said, let's let this play out. And then literally 1 month later, not only did you grab $100,000+ of volume, um, but you had several promotions on your team. I mean, and it just shows you that you were doing all the right actions. You never stopped. You didn't let those, times where people, I mean, you always, I mean, every time I've ever been around you, you're positive, you're happy, you always have a smile on your face. And I mean, that's what this business is about. And the cool thing about, I mean, adding to your network, this is what I always tell people. Do you know that brand new person? I mean, obviously, if you want to share whatever's going on in your life or whatever's happened in your past on your Facebook, that's relatable to people. But a brand new person you just met in your freaking hiking group doesn't know all of the things that you've been through. They doesn't know that you stole money out of your mama's purse or that you didn't show up for Christmas 3 years in a row. Like, they don't know that stuff.
Right.
They know the person they're meeting right now, the person that you are now, the person you want to be. And people don't have excuses. You know what I mean? Excuses for it. Look, everybody on here, if you're not going right now, I guarantee you that if I got on the phone with you, you would have a pile of excuses. You would tell me all the reasons right now why your business isn't growing. Some of those would be personal. Some of them would be your upline or your downline. Some of them will be, but if you really look at the whole of it all, they are excuses. The dog ate my Thrive for real. And it seriously is like that. It's like being a teacher and people coming in school and giving you every reason in the world and you're rolling your eyes like, yeah, whatever, you just overslept. Like, we all know it, stop lying. But at the end of the day, the hardest thing to do is to be able to look in the mirror and be like, okay, like, I've got to get real with myself. This is what I'm not doing. This is, why it's not growing. And I promise you guys this, whatever your story is, you just heard Lacey's. Okay, I'm just being real. Lacey had every reason to fail.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because she had all of the things that people use as excuses: a bad past, people not trusting them, not having a network. I lost my Facebook page. The plethora of things that I hear daily. And that, what's the difference between Lacey and that person that will never overcome those excuses is Lacey was willing to overcome the excuses. Like you said, okay, I got to figure out a way around these things because I need this to happen. I want this to happen. And it's just so huge that people get it. Like, there's nothing that you've said on this Zoom that we haven't taught a million times. You just do it. You just do it. Like, there's no magic. Hello, people.
Right. And there is no difference. Literally the only thing was, and I remember when I lost my Facebook page and I sat there and I was trying to think like, am I just going to take this as a sign and keep doing my school thing? When I got my degree, it was probably the reason I picked that degree is because at the end of all of it, I probably could have got to where I was making about $80,000 a year. And for me, no job history, broke as shit, that was going to be good money. It was going to help my family. It was like a respectable income or whatever. It would be all right. But when I sit here and I think like, you guys, we only get to live this one time. Like, when I am an old ass lady on my deathbed and I look back at my life, I don't want it to be an $80,000 a year income that just contributed to my family. I want a freaking legacy. Like, I want to have seen the world. I want my children to hurt for nothing. Like, I want them to want for nothing. I want to know that I literally busted my ass and made my life beyond my wildest imagination, and so far busting ass is doing that. I work really, 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 really hard. And the things that in the 2 years that I've been here that have already happened are just like, I'll just keep working, I'll just keep working harder and harder because it really is the only place that I know of where as you get to choose how hard you work, and then however hard you work, it's like your dreams coming true, match that. Like, how big you want your dreams? Okay, work that big. You want your dreams bigger? Work that big. You know what I mean? This has opened up so many different things in my life. I had never been on an airplane before last year. I was 35 years old and had never been on an airplane because I had never left the small radius of where I was chilling, and now I've been to Idaho, Nashville.
Obviously, I'm going to give you some, okay?
Oh, sorry about that, Lace. Hold on.
Literally opening up the world to me. And so, you know, again, on my hardest days, when it seems hard, I, like Lisa says, I literally just think about my hard. You know, hard for me is getting to the end of my life, and I fear getting to the end of my life and wishing I would have done more, because you're out of time at that point. There is no more time. That's a wrap. It's over. You can't do anything about it. There's no magic potion to drink. It's done. And that terrifies me. So that pushes me just to work, you know.
Yeah, and you choose your heart. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. Like the thought of, dying knowing that I didn't try. Like, how many people are going to get to that day knowing that they had opportunity after opportunity and they made excuses? Like, y'all, I mean, I don't know what y'all believe. Maybe you came back as an ant and then now you're now you're you. Whatever you believe, all I do know is we live this life only once. Okay, this one. And I know that, there's so many people. I have lived literally, I remember my grandmother when she was getting ready to die telling me about her regrets. Like, we're all going to have them. You know what I mean? Everybody looks at things differently, but we're all going to have things that we wished we could have, should have, would have, or wonder what would have happened. And it's just like with the years of your life are going to go by. Why not be in something where you get to hear somebody like Lacey's story and what she's been able to do? And what if that could be you in the next 3 to 5 to 7 years? Like, what if it could? You're never going to know if you quit. You're never going to know if you give up, and you're never going to know if you keep making excuses. Like, that's the bottom line, is you gotta quit making excuses. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. Is there anything on your heart that you just want to, that you feel like you didn't get out, that you want to share? This goes so quick, doesn't it?
I know, it did go really quick. I looked at the clock like 30 minutes ago and I was like, oh my gosh, there's still half an hour left. And then it just went boom, 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 boom. You know, I just want to say, I'll just say, like, at any point you can pick these tips up. You know what I mean? It doesn't, if you haven't been doing this, you don't have to be like, oh, well, I guess I'm not that kind of person, or I'm not going to be that kind of leader, or I just don't have it in me. It literally is a decision. My team is probably going to like throw up right now. They get so tired of hearing me say the word decide.
I think she cut out. Did she cut out again, guys?
Yeah, she did.
Dang it. But you know what? Hopefully she comes back. But if she doesn't, at least it didn't cut out to me. There you are. You would cut out on us. Dang it. Probably the last like 15 seconds. I don't know.
What was
Say
the
it
last
over.
thing I said?
I don't.
Start over, Lacey.
Yeah, just
Okay.
start over, because it was pretty much right into it.
Okay. I'll just say that, like, you know, don't let anything or any excuse determine what you want to do with this. We get to literally like.
I know you said your team decide. They're so sick of hearing the word decide.
Yeah, they're sick of hearing the word decide. So when I came into this, I decided that I wanted to be a millionaire with Lavelle. I met people that had gotten there and they were no different than me. I realized that it was, you know, we're in a company that has a lot of people at the top of the company. You don't see that with other companies. There's like a few or a couple or 10 or something. And over here, I think there's like hundreds of 200Ks, if not more than that. And I wanted to do that. And so I decided that I was going to be a Lavelle millionaire. And I just want to let you guys know, like, you decide where you want to go with this. And then the decisions that you make on a daily basis, in the morning when you get up, whatever, just have to back up that original decision. So if I decide I'm going to be a millionaire with Lavelle, am I going to like Netflix and chill for the next week? No, that doesn't back that decision up. You know what I mean? I get up and I do my affirmations and I do my gratitude and I do my personal development and I get into my personal business, and my decisions are backing up that original decision that I made. And I can almost guarantee and promise that if you do that, you're going to be successful. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. Would I rather eat Cheetos and Netflix and chill? Duh. Yes, I would. But is that going to like give me a life that I can that I can look back on and be like, holy shit, that was dreamy. Like that was a dream life. You know what I mean? So just work hard. If you have an upline or a sideline or somebody giving you tips and you're asking for help and they're saying, okay, we'll do this, if you're not doing it, don't be like, oh, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Just like listen, be open-minded, take the tips. If you want to be successful in this, it's already here. Like we already have the training. We're taught how to do it. Like Lisa said, I didn't say anything on here that I haven't learned on a Zoom from someone else. I'm just doing what is already offered here. So I don't know. I just think anybody can do this. Just make the decision and then back that decision up.
You're right. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. If people don't listen to this Zoom every week and realize that anybody can do this, like we've had every single story that could possibly be people in all different places in their lives, all different ages, and none of that matters. Like if you look at the difference, it's just the difference that that person is willing to work hard. Really, that's what it is. They're willing to overcome their fears and work hard and push themselves. And that's it. Bottom line, end of story. I have to know really quick before we get off. First of all, happy payday, everybody. Speaking of payday, have you gotten your first bonus yet?
Oh my God, yes. So it dropped last Tuesday. This has been a really crazy last couple months or last couple weeks. Like there's been a few things that have been huge goals for me that have all come true in the last like 2 weeks. And one was to take my husband on a lifestyle getaway. One was to host my own team retreat. One was to be on this Zoom. And, you know, I've literally always dreamed that I would hit 200K during a rank advancement bonus. And so that paycheck too. And it hit last week while we were in the airport about to board to go to Florida. And I mean, I don't even know it. For somebody like me, like when I say I was homeless, I was literally picking up change on the ground. Like you guys, it was ugly. It was not cute. And to open up a paycheck like that is, I don't even have words. But again, like I know it's because I've worked hard. You know what I mean? It's not like I won the lottery. It's like, it's so much more gratifying because I know what it took to get there. And I know how much my team worked, you know, and I don't know. It was, I don't even have words.
And how many more of those do you have coming?
Spange. That's exactly right. Spange. I forgot about that word.
How many more of those checks do you have coming? How many payouts is it?
I think for is it 14 total? So I think 13.
14 total. Whatever you just saw, I don't know, but I can tell you guys it was definitely over $10,000. I mean, we're on a personal Zoom. You know, we already are in this, y'all. You already know the income. It's not like we're making income claims here. It is what it is. It's for real. And maybe I'll get in trouble. I don't know, if so, whatever. But dude, like how many of you would love to see a over $10,000 paycheck in 1 week? Like seriously crazy. Like, I mean, just imagine what you would do with that. And that's what you're working for and working towards. And it's all about what you do with it. Oh my gosh, Lacey, you're so inspiring. Thank you for getting on. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I just want to say too, I see my team in the chat. So I just want to tell you guys, I love you so much. I haven't been typing in the chat. Obviously I've been talking, but I just want to tell my team, thank you so much for hopping on. I love you guys. I see you guys. Thank you.
And you guys can do this. And Lacey, oh my gosh, you have already accomplished so many things. Like what else is on your dream board, girl? Like millionaire. That's next. You're going to have to make a new dream board because I'm pretty sure everything you had on it was definitely crossed off. You need a new board, girl.
No, I dream big. I dream real big. There's stuff on there still, trust me.
Yachts and jets. I have a jet on mine. I don't think that's ever going to happen, only because I would get to the place where I could afford it and be like, no, that's not practical.
Right. Right.
But everybody has to have something big, right? I love you so much. Thank you for hopping on and sharing today. And thanks to all of you guys for hopping on and being with us the last hour. I hope you guys took some awesome tips away and were so inspired by Lacey's story. As I am. And you guys, it's payday. So go make your post and tell the world what Lavelle is doing to change your family's life financially. Putting groceries in your fridge, putting gas in your car. That's the stuff that people right now want, man. They're like, I need some gas in my car. So you guys don't forget, it's a good day to go post that. Thanks, Lacey. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Same time, same place, same link. Different 200K promoters sharing their stories. So be on. Thanks, guys.